The World Cup, England Malta has just started, literally about 20 seconds ago. Judd Trump here leading England off against Alex Borg. England yesterday beat Switzerland 5-0, Trump and Barry Hawkins, and Borg and Duncan Bazina beat Australia 3-2. This is Group C, so these are the second matches for these two teams. Australia about to start against Pakistan. The other match is Switzerland against Iran. Of course, Mark Selby had been due to represent England, but couldn't play here or in Riga because he broke his toe. No truth in the rumour that he dropped his wallet on his toe, because of course Mark earned just under £1 million last season. Record prize money for one season.
Incredible.
Alex Borg, of course, on the tour. Tony Drago is their best known player, but he's not involved this year. He did play, though, in a World Cup final, Drago, 1989 now. The rest of the world team, alongside Silvina Francisco, South Africa, and New Zealand's Dean O'Kane. Duncan Bazina, though, is the Maltese champion. That's why he's in the team.
Well, he took some thinking about that one, but he hit it so well. That's a great return of safety from Judd Trump. He was in trouble there. Been around a long time, Alex Borg. 48-year-old now.
Yeah, he and Drago finished third in the group 2 years ago. His second year of a 2-year card, got on through the Q School last season. Twice European amateur champion. Very experienced in international snooker in general.
And another very good safety shot. Stun run through to the cushion, just missed the yellow and put Borg in trouble again. Well, he could try and come off the cushion, land up to the red behind the black, or try and play up into the cluster of reds. Played up into the cluster, and that's not a good escape.
Well, enemies. England 4.
He was out with the speed, and he was out with the direction.
Trump didn't enter the Riga Masters, but he has qualified for the China Championship final stages.
7.
Black will only go to that left corner, so the reds down the right side of the table will lead him to the black.
12.
Well, I don't know. He just
12.
took it for granted. But what an unexpected opening this is for Alex Borg. taking the more difficult red next to the black, which really opens things up.
1.
And that was a brave shot to take on, because it wasn't guaranteed that. But now that he's cleared that red away, he's got a great chance.
8.
Well, he could have played for the red just parallel to the red, to the cue ball. Played that red onto the other red. And now he's found out that if he plays the red over the pocket, he could get the cover on the black. So having to play that shot. And he's just not hard enough. Now, is this red available to the right corner, the one closest to the pocket? They look easy on television, but he's given it plenty of care. Oh, played that one well. Lots of right-hand side on the cue ball.
14.
And a lot easier from there.
Trump seemed to take this corner pocket a little bit for granted. Thought that he'd pop the red off the jaw, but you saw he didn't. That's what's given Borg this unexpected chance.
21.
Developing into a pretty good chance.
Yeah, he's taken them well so far. Just a little bit of carelessness crept into his game in this frame.
28.
Another good recovery shot there from Alex Borg. Held it nicely for the black. Again, didn't quite stand far enough up the table for the red. Wanted it straighter so he could get back easily to the black. And isn't it always the case? Just on the verge of winning the frame, poor positional play on the black, and then a relatively easy red missed.
Well, something tells me Trump won't be missing this red. Relieved to be back at the table. And only 20 behind as he comes back to the table.
Six. Seven.
Well, he plays that shot so well.
12.
Give himself a chance of two reds. Ideally, he'd like to take the red in the middle of the cluster. That would open things up nicely. Looks like he can pot the red and skim off. Maybe not. Yep, skim off the reds, open them up. But he didn't want to push that red towards the cushion.
Well, he will need it, so
19.
it could be about that red now in terms of whether he wins the frame at this visit.
20.
Still got that relatively difficult red behind the black as well. Well, he's thinking of leaving an angle on the pink here to bring the red into play, but
27.
thought better about it.
Thirty-three. 34.
Well, he's left an angle on the black to bring the red into play. Now needs to get in behind the red. Now he's hit it direct. But that's not too bad.
41.
Still a tough pot, this down the cushion. Yes, it wasn't easy.
Anger. 41.
So, 9.21 the difference. And this has to go in. Otherwise it could have been over the pocket.
Switzerland are 1-0 up against Iran on table 3 in this group. So that's the first frame they've won. Meanwhile, Borg
Ball and a miss.
knocked, well, too thin in the end on the red. Didn't hit it at all.
Anger. 4.
Now a chance here to get in behind the yellow. He didn't attempt it last time round. And he'll be happy with that. May be able to see this red, but very difficult to avoid the cannon. Yes, another good safety. again, he couldn't avoid the cannon, but hasn't finished too bad. It's going to need a good pot here from Judd Trump. And that's a good pot.
1.
And that's also a good kiss. I suppose it deserves it. Right in the centre.
So it is the blue and the red, and Borg needs snookers.
6.
It's the thing with a player as talented as Trump. You can magic up a pot like the one we just saw that is effectively now winning the frame. Would have liked the 7 points.
7.
So Alex Borg coming back needing 2 snookers. Next frame, of course, will be the other 2 players, Barry Hawkins and Duncan Bozina. I think Malta would look to Alex Borg, a bit like with Cyprus, with Michael Giorgio, they look to Alex Borg to pull his weight as the tour player.
Well, not sure why he potted the yellow, because he could have skimmed off the yellow and tried to get in behind the green and brown. It's just the ball less on the table to snooker behind now.
Well, he's left Judd Trump a chance at the green, which he's not put away. Where's the green going?
Yeah, it could have gone down towards that black, couldn't it?
Well, if you recall the Northern Ireland Open final between Mark King and Barry Hawkins, we had a frame where the black was where it is now over that pocket. And Mark King played for about 15 minutes to get the pink on top of it, which he got. And Hawkins, of course, eventually knocked the black in.
Yeah, it can happen as long as that black's close to the pocket like that. I mean, he could have missed the green and wobbled in the jaws and gone across the table and knocked the black in. We've seen that many times. The speed he hit it at gave the green all kinds of options to knock that black in. And it's shots like that that Judd Trump plays, and it can cost him matches, especially against the top ranked players, because all of a sudden you knock that black in and your confidence is gone against the top player.
Well, if the black were to go in, of course, it'd be 23 and it would be 25 on.
Well, he's getting less and less chance to snooker behind a colour, Alex Borg.
Yeah, the option is there to do what Mark King did. If you were to pot brown and blue, it would be 1 snooker with pink and black.
Yeah, it's not really an option you'd want to play though, because to knock the black in, it's very, very unlikely. I mean, it might happen once or twice in a year. But who knows, this could be that once or twice.
Yeah, it happened for Mark.
Well, that's 1 snooker. So 1 more needed.
Yeah, Trump mustn't think he's won this frame. I think that going in off there and the foul there might just remind him that he's not won it yet.
Now, again, he took the green when it was close to the pocket. He took the green much too easy for me. Just expected to pot it instead of putting full concentration into the shot. Well, that's another snooker, and it's not bad. He's going to have to come off the side cushion. So another half chance for Judd Trump. Oh, couldn't have got any closer without dropping.
The thing about Alex Borg, he's been around. He's the oldest player in the tournament at 48. Seen plenty of snooker down the years and plenty of battles like this, tactical battles. In a potting contest, Judd Trump wins all day, but we're down to the tactical stuff now. Ooh, double kiss.
Well, it was difficult to see how he could miss the double kiss there. He was trying to push the brown over the pocket towards the black.
He just ceded control, I guess, to Trump. If Trump had just potted that black, it's there because he tried to pot it and missed it. I'm sure we'd be into the next frame now of the match. Borg did need 2 snookers, now he needs 1.
Yes, and while that black's over that pocket, he can use the black to try and play for the snooker, just sending the brown down the table. Trump may be better off playing for a snooker of his own. And that is going to be close. Good shot. And if he does miss it, he'd ease the pressure on England. Got to hit it and get it safe. He's hit it. And he's got a snooker. Well, there's no value in potting the brown. Less and less balls to snooker behind. Now, for me, that's less chance now.
Malta 4.
Switzerland and Iran now 1 each, and Australia have won the first frame against Pakistan. All in the same group. Well, this is pacey.
Yeah, too pacey. And that's end of frame.
Wow, yeah, he's conceded. Well, he gave it his best there, but it's Judd Trump who wins the opening frame of this match. England then have won all 6 frames played so far in this year's World Cup. Of course, they beat Switzerland 5-0 yesterday. Barry Hawkins will be out next for England, up against Duncan Brzezina. Remember, they play 5 frames, and England are leading Malta by 1 frame to 0. Barry Hawkins and Duncan Brzezina is frame 2 of England against Malta. Judd Trump's won the first frame against Alex Borg to give England the 1-0 lead. Yes, Barry Hawkins, relatively late call-up with Mark Selby unable to come with his broken toe. Hawkins 6th in the world. If this was a best of 9, obviously he'd be a nailed on certainty, but it's only 1 frame. Duncan Brzezina is the Maltese champion, 36 years of age.
I think that's what makes this event exciting, David, is because everybody's got a chance of winning 1 frame. It's kind of like league matches that we used to play when we was amateurs. Now, some of these amateurs will be used to playing 1 frames, and they'll be hoping it turns into a safety type of game, whereas the top players, like Barry Hawkins, will be hoping he can get in at 1 visit and do the business. Well, where's this going to finish? What a good safety shot. Didn't play it, but it's turned out good.
Yeah, that was a little bit pinball wizard, wasn't it? But it finished okay in the end for Malta.
I think he's been taking lessons from Tony Drago with that shot. Tony Drago used to get some fantastic pots. He doesn't hang about, this kid. He's pushed a red over that corner with the reds nicely spread around the black. Could play the red onto the red. He doesn't want to take the risk, but
One.
controlled it nicely.
Eight. Nine.
He got a kick on the cue ball there. He was playing for the red just above the black. And look what it's done to the cue ball, that kick.
50.
He's almost stopped dead. He wanted it another 6 inches. And that's a good recovery. But where's that cue ball going? Into that corner, middle pocket.
4.
Let off for Malta. Great pot.
1.
That's a great pot by Duncan Bazzini. Now let's see what he can do. We know he can play. He's the Maltese champion.
Eight. 9.
Now a confident shot here would be to go into that cluster. And that's what he's done, but got a little bit too much screw on the cue ball. He needed to go in with stun on the cue ball, not screw. And now got to be very careful to try and hide that red over the ball corner pocket.
Malta 16.
Well, he got the important part of the shot there. Hawkins getting that cue ball close to the cushion. And that's put Duncan Bazzini in a bit of trouble here. Difficult to see how he's going to play safe off this. He may have to take that red onto the middle. Well, does the red go to the middle? It was a good shot. Trying to contain Barry Hawkins. But this red goes.
1.
And it was always going to be difficult, that last shot, for Duncan. He was in a bit of trouble with that cue ball being dead on the cushion. So another chance for Barry. Held it well.
5.
Just goes on level, but the ball's nicely placed.
You know, I was saying yesterday that Hawkins, I think, as we look at Bazzini in his chair, he's a good team man. He's someone no one's got a bad word to say about in the game. He's reliable, calm as well. And most important of all, very effective at the table. We've seen that the last few years. Saw it last season when he won the World Grand Prix. Made 5 centuries in the final against Ryan Day.
Yeah, no doubts about it. David is a great player. But he's missed that one. Just as we're giving him lots of sugar.
Well, it came out of nowhere, that did. It really did. Can Duncan Bazzini take advantage?
Well, he's got every chance here now.
1.
Lots of loose reds. Well, that really wobbled. But the cannon turned out very nice. He's a very quick player, Duncan Bazina. Didn't quite come far enough for the red he played for, but still got this red over the port corner. Doesn't hang about at all.
It's funny, isn't it? Because Malta is such a lovely place, very laid back, but their snooker players, as you say, are lightning fast. Oh, what's he done here? Well, that's lightning fast, and it's gone in the middle.
Well, that's simply because he's not used to these super fast tables. He was playing to come back for the red into the right corner, but overdid it, and that's simply he's not used to these tables. So easy to do, but what a let-off for Hawkins. Well, Bazina's had two really good chances. But this has now turned into a safety game, and that would suit Bazina a little bit more than Barry Hawkins. Barry's a great safety game player, but this type of game would suit an amateur player. Well, once these two reds come off the right side cushion, they're all there for the taking. Good safety. And this is what he'd be good at. Cracking safety shot, in fact. Not a bad return from where he was, dead under the cushion. Caught it much too thick, and that could be his last shot. Well, I think he was trying to pot this red, but caught it 3/4 ball.
One.
Well, Hawkins missed a red from close range earlier, which could have cost him on another day, but he's got another chance here, 4 points in front.
Well, again, that didn't go in cleanly.
7.
Very nearly missed that red.
England looking to
14.
win their 7th frame out of 7 in this year's World Cup.
Nice angle on the blue to drop down for this red behind the black. Coming off 2 cushions maybe.
There are 8 Englishmen in the top 16 as it stands, so obviously this is a tough team to get in, and it would always be a good team whoever did play for them.
21.
Now, does he have an angle on the black to screw back and knock the red off? If not, to drop in behind it. Played to drop in behind it. Still needs a red and a colour, and the red would leave Malta only able to tie. Good pot.
29.
So the in-off in the end for Brzezina was costly. Hawkins had chances before that, but barring snookers, it's going to be 2-0, although of course Alex Borg needed 2, got 1 against Trump.
England 36.
Well, another chance here for Barry Hawkins. Well, he was a long way off that one. And looks like he's got one back. Well, I was about to say he had to knock one of those long balls in, but it stayed out. That's better. That's a good snooker. Or is it? Now he can swerve it.
Problem is controlling what happens with the yellow. Could do with this over the blue really, but Hawkins can get the cue in here. And just put the frame away, you would think. Leads by 36, so 3 snookers needed now. And the handshake is coming. So Barry Hawkins then makes it 7 frames out of 7 for England in this year's World Cup. And he's going to stay out there and he'll be joined by Judd Trump. Duncan Brzezina will be joined by Alex Borg for the doubles frame. But England already really motoring here in Group C. And they lead Malta in this match by 2 frames to 0. Well, Trump and Hawkins looking very relaxed as well. They might be. Not lost a frame yet in this year's World Cup. Alex Borg to break. Of course, we were saying earlier, yesterday it was Malta involved in that frame with Australia that went to a respot, and Neil Robertson played out a turn, not really knowing the rules, and fouls called, and that was end of frame, awarded to Malta. But I'm sure now every player in the competition understands what the rules are, so I'd be surprised if that happened again if we did have a respot. It seemed kind of typical for Neil Robertson. The run he's been on has not been good, has it, of late? And for something like that to happen to him, of all people, just rubbing it in a bit, really. Well, a full-blooded attempt. He didn't get too close to that pot, though.
No, and that's why he's brought the red down the table. So an early chance. And that's a good pot. Made it look easy. I suppose it helps that he's just been on the table. Well, if it's come far enough for this red, that was a very good positional shot, but maybe he hasn't come far enough. Another couple of inches. That would have led him to the black.
Malta, 5.
Australia are now 2-0 up against Pakistan. Switzerland 2-1 up against Iran. Also, of course, in this Group C. It seems likely that England will qualify, and then it'll be one from the other 5 teams that will join them.
Well, it could have been disastrous, the double kiss, but it's okay. There is a red on to the right corner, but too dangerous to take on. Cue ball going into the reds. I'd be surprised if he took that one on.
Foul. Malta. 4.
Well, he could be tempted at a red here. But would have to play it with some left-hand side on the cue ball to avoid everything. And he did do, but still cannoned into them. So, a chance.
Well, you saw the grimace, because he knows Judd Trump's coming to the table.
Yes, the easy red to the left corner with the rest. It's very difficult to get to a colour, so he may have to screw off the reds and try and play back down for the blue. Because to try and judge it for the black, he'd have to be very accurate. And when I say blue, any of the bought colours as well. Well, played for the black, and he's on it. That was an excellent positional shot. Took the risk. Would have been nice to have seen that shot again, using the reds to play for the black. Now, I may have to nudge that red away from the black spot. Oh, he's nudged it onto the black spot. So it's going to go up to the blue, which isn't a disaster.
Well, I think the pink spot is free, isn't it?
Maybe.
Trump's pointing at it. The referee's missed that.
So did I.
Judd Trump didn't.
A little heavy, played for the pink to the middle. Now the pink going onto the black spot makes things a lot easier. And you'd expect Judd Trump to score heavy now from here.
Yeah, it's all about concentration, isn't it? Just keeping things simple, not taking your eye off what seems to be an easy pot. I think particularly for players who are so naturally talented, because the game sometimes feels, I think, like it does come easily, but it doesn't take much to miss in this sport.
Well, now the pink goes back onto its own spot, which just makes things a little bit more difficult. I just thought he played that shot a bit too heavy. But nicely onto the black. The wrong side of the red. So could play for the blue, get the blue back on its spot. Makes the break building a lot easier.
36. 37. 43. 44.
Well, as I say, it looks easy, but anyone who's ever played the game knows that it isn't. But he's just controlling things well here. We've had 2 century breaks in doubles frames already. Are we going to get a third here?
Yeah, every chance. The balls were nicely spread.
Zhao Yulong for China B and Marco Fu for Hong Kong yesterday. Main thing is win the frame. He's 50 in front,
59.
75 on.
And hit it again, so taking the more difficult pink. Red in the colour should be enough. There's the red.
67.
Well, it turns out Alex Borg was right to grimace when he left him in. Trump has stepped in and done the job.
70.
Yes, and that in off from Barry Hawkins
71.
has won England this frame. Malta took on that long red. And this is the result.
77.
And the Chinese people love to see Judd Trump in full flow. Maybe a chance for him to play a few exhibition shots. There's one, bringing the red off.
Made that look easy as well. Well, they've been watching on, the Maltese, as another frame slips by. It's not a century. Break ends at 84, but Judd Trump has done the job for England. And they still haven't lost a frame in the competition. It's 3-0, and it's job done. A little handshake between Trump and Hawkins. Judd Trump's going to stay out there to play Duncan Bazina. England lead Malta then by 3 frames to 0. Frame 4 of England versus Malta. It's 3-0 to England. He's just made that 84 break to win the doubles frame. Duncan Bazina, his opponent here. And his job is to try and keep Trump out and then see what he can do if he gets in himself.
Yes, that's a hard bit. Try and keep Trump out. He's got a great snooker brain. Judd Trump freeing the black here. Could play the safety shot using the red by the blue, but freed the black, giving away the safety advantage, but he deems it worth it to free the black.
Yeah, the thing, I mean, he's 27, Trump, which is young, but he's been playing Q Sports since he was 5. And he was winning tournaments, junior tournaments when he was 7 or 8, a lot of them. So he's not just been playing snooker a long time, match play snooker as well. He's learnt the all-round game, and although he's rightly spoken of as a great potter, he's a great safety player as well.
Yeah, you have to be in the top 16. You can't get there with just potting. This is another good safety. Look at that. He caught the reds, beautiful, found the line back up the table, And I don't think he's got the snooker. Let's see what Hawkeye shows us. No, he hasn't got the snooker. You can see one red. And while we were showing you, he played it. But that could be his last shot. Tough red this to the middle. Yep, it wasn't easy that. And had to play it at a little bit of speed to pass the red so it could get onto the blue or pink. So this is a chance. Wouldn't it be nice for him to knock in a century break here? Now, you prefer the black to spot, but it's not a disaster if it doesn't. It goes on the pink spot, the pink's available.
8. 9.
So the pink would go on the black spot, and that makes things a little bit easier.
15. 16.
He could be quicker than Trump, this guy.
22.
He's very quick round the table.
23.
But doesn't want to get too complacent. Keep his concentration. If he can keep that cue ball that distance away from the object ball, he's got every chance. Keep things simple.
9.
Tony Drager still holds the record for the fastest ever frame played, 3 minutes. He never got any slower either. That's the thing with Tony.
I think it once took Griffiths 3 minutes to break off. I'm kidding. I was a great fan of Terry's. But he needs to keep that cue ball closer to the object ball. This is missable. I know it looks easy, but when you play in position, and that difficult pink has left a more difficult red. It would help if the blue does go to that right middle.
37.
You might be able to see the red closest to the left corner, but preferring to take this red on. And it's there.
43.
What a great chance now.
Yeah, it looked like he might have completely given the frame away when he gave Trump a chance, but he missed that red to the middle.
Well, I said at the beginning of this break, wouldn't it be great if he made a century?
49.
Oh, he's just lost it a little bit. May have to play the cannon directly to the red above the pink. Oh, he's missed the pink, and that is what happens. You know, you just get ahead of yourself, and that's when he just should have taken stock. He'd come too far on the pink, then That's the time just to take it easy.
Well, 49 in it, nothing safe though.
So the black back onto its own spot, which gives him choice of reds. At some stage he wants to take the pink, because that will free the reds into that left corner.
9.
So may take it this time. He certainly needs to move it.
14. 15.
Didn't want to cannon the red, let to come past it.
21.
Oh, what a recovery shot. From that angle on the red, that's a great recovery shot, applauded by his opponent. Could have done with coming a little bit further though.
29.
20 points the difference. Another good recovery.
30.
That wasn't easy. Made to look easy. Choice of two reds, the way he played it.
35. 36. 43.
Well, you would think that this is the hardest ball. He's missed it.
Anger.
He's missed it,
43.
and he's got away with it. Very fortunate. Could have left that red on.
Ball and a miss. Anger. 4.
Well, that will be going back. Wasn't a difficult swerve, he was just trying to catch it thin. He's happy.
So 2 points in it on the last red. This frame still in the balance.
In the red.
Judd Trump having this red clean, the red that he missed to the right middle.
Yeah, got to be careful here. If he plays this foolish ball, doesn't want the red to hit the green or brown. And delighted with that. Well, surely you can't get through the middle there. Maybe a slight swerve on the green. doesn't want the kiss. Unless he gets the snooker, of course. What about that? It's still anybody's game, this.
Yeah, I mean, for all the science behind it and analysis of snooker, sometimes it is just balls running around a table. They can finish anywhere, and that's finished good for Malta. Like a dream, actually. Bearing in mind, Trump was in to win the frame.
And this is very difficult to hit if he can't hit that left side cushion, and it doesn't look like he can from there. Very, very difficult to hit, this red.
A flute snooker, and a good one at that.
Well, he might not hit this red. It's that difficult to hit. I mean, looks like coming off the black cushion, side cushion. Well, he's seeing something different. Well, wasn't far away. Free ball.
More time. 4.
So may not be going back.
Free ball.
Oh, he's got to take the free ball, hasn't he? Yep. Play to win the frame. Oh, that's not a good shot. Got too much stun into the cue ball.
1.
So easy to do on these tables. That's a good pot though, needs to bounce. What a good shot that was from Dominic. Sorry, Duncan. Watch the middle.
8.
Again, played that well.
He looks a confident player, doesn't he? And he's got himself in a great position. He was a flute snooker, but take advantage.
Yeah, it was a good pink that he took. Very confident pink.
12.
So he's 18 in front on the colours. He needs yellow and green.
Yeah, and left himself straight on the yellow. And that's led to him being out of position.
Oh dear, where's it all going to finish?
Well, you never know what's going to happen. It's like watching Tony Drago, isn't it? You never know what's going to happen out there.
Well, what did happen is the green caught the blue. He's left Trump a chance at it from distance. Oh, great pot.
Yeah, great pot, and he had his chance there.
It was a really good chance. Got the luck with the snooker, but eventually it's gone wrong. So Trump needs the remaining 3 colours to make it 4-0 to England. Something's going to have to go badly wrong for them not to qualify from this group. That's gone a little bit wrong though. The cue ball's now on the side cushion.
Yeah, I mean, this is difficult. And he's not going to be left with an easy black if he pots it. Good pot. But the black's not easy.
The pink was right in the middle of the pocket. Needs the black as well though to complete victory in this frame. Great pot, 2 great pots in the end from Trump. That frame was really in the balance, but England once again doing the business. They've now played 9 frames in this tournament and won all 9. Judd Trump, a black ball thriller to lead 4-0, which means we've got 1 more frame to be played in this match. It'll be Barry Hawkins against Alex Borg. England leading Malta by 4 frames to 0. The other matches, it's 2-1 to Australia against Pakistan. Australia lost the doubles frame. That's clearly not their favourite part of this competition after yesterday. And Switzerland 2, Iran 2 as well. These matches all in Group C of the World Cup. So England 9 out of 9 for frames played and won. Alex Borg looking to spoil that record here. Remind you that Malta won yesterday against Australia 3-2. And had a good chance there in that previous frame. Duncan Brzezina just not quite getting over the line against Trump. So Borg looking to avert the whitewash.
Yes, just going back to that last frame with Duncan Brzezina, he had an easy brown, and the difference between professionals and amateurs is that professionals like to think about 2 or 3 shots ahead. If he'd have just thought for a second, I've got an easy brown, I want to leave a decent angle on the yellow to get out for the green, but he didn't. He just potted the brown knowing he was going to be on the yellow, but he left it absolutely straight. Hence the cannon onto the green, and they're missing that long green. He had the game by the scruff of the neck now, and I do like his play. He gets on with it, plays some good shots, but then makes some serious errors. I'm sure he'll curb that if he plays good plays all the time. It's close. Well, that's where he played the cue ball too. He didn't play the plant. And I suppose he'd have preferred the red not to have gone in. Difficult shot seized, rolling up to the brown. Yeah, nicely played. So easy to leave those short.
This is, I think, an important frame for Malta. As I say, England look certain to qualify, but second place is up for grabs. Malta won yesterday 3-2. They can win this frame. It could be important, depending on what happens the next 3 days. The temptation at 4-0 is to think, well, that's kind of it. But in this format, it isn't necessarily.
Yeah, very good point. It could come down to one frame, and I'm sure it will in some of the groups. But caught that one too thick and left a nice easy chance. So Alex with the first chance, just looking at where he wants to be on the black to be able to get to the next red. And that looks just ideal, screwing off those reds above the black. Oh, but you must pop the easy black. Just careless, that's all that is. Looking at the cannon more than the pot. And Hawkins with a great chance. Well, if he's going to play for the black here, he's got to be accurate. Just too hard maybe for the black, but he's got the pink. Pink goes onto the black spot. Well, he had that easy black. It never looked in. So another chance for Alex Borg, and well, if he can leave a nice angle on the pink to be able to go into the reds, that would be the attacking shot. Leave the cue ball on that side cushion. Well, he's decided to play for the blue. Nothing wrong with that if he can get to a red. Again, this is tough. Yeah, just dropped in. I thought he'd missed it for a second.
Australia 3-1 up against Pakistan, so they're guaranteed, of course, to win that match now, having lost to Malta yesterday, 3-2.
A little harder. He's out of position. He'd need the long stuff, long spider, long rest, extensions. And he won't be able to see the potting angle. So I'm not sure if this is the shot to play. If it goes in, it could be on the black. Well, we'll know before he does if this red is in. That's a great pot. Great pot. Now, will he go for this brown? Chance to win.
14.
Nicely played.
Yeah, there was pressure on that, all right, leaving reds on if he missed.
Just overrun slightly. Turns this red into a more difficult pot. Having to dig down into the cue ball. But another good pot.
19.
And just held up for the green. Well, that again was an excellent pot.
22.
Screwing into the reds. And he couldn't have played that any better.
Meanwhile, Iran have beaten Switzerland 3-2. Two professionals in the Iranian team, Hossein Vafai and Sohail Vahidi, who's the World Amateur Champion, so it's a good team. And it's their second win. Now, can Alex Borg, he's got himself in a great position, can he win Malta's only frame of the match?
Well, two great shots there, David. The green especially.
It would be the first frame that Trump and Hawkins have lost in the competition. It's got to be said, apart from Trump's 84 in the doubles frame, they haven't necessarily been at their best today. Have given chances. Hawkins just looking on at the moment.
Well, really, they should have lost the last frame, England.
There's the result just confirmed. Iran winning 3-2 against Switzerland. So they move up to 6 points for the group.
Well, has he come far enough for this red into the left corner? He has got the one to the baulk corner, but he'd prefer to be on the easy one. Now, is he going to miss another easy one?
38.
The next red, not easy to play for. All covering one another. Not sure, he hasn't got the angle to stand back for the reds into the same pocket. So may have to play a cannon of some kind here. Well, that's not good.
45.
He's left himself with a real pressure shot here with the rest. Again, it could be time to just play the shot to nothing. Play the more difficult red. Take the cue ball back towards the baulk area. If he goes for the easier red of those three there, he could lose the frame if he misses it. Yeah, I think that was a more easier shot to play. It doesn't lose a frame from it.
Malta, 45.
Unless Hawkins knocks in a belter.
So Alex Borg has got himself 39 points in front. It's a useful lead, but there's nothing safe here. They're potable.
Yeah, good attempt. And it's a good safety. In fact, it's a snooker. So 39 points the lead, and got his man snookered. Two cushion escape.
Fault and a miss. Malta 4.
Yeah, the pros are so good at that type of shot, and especially pros like Barry Hawkins. But another half chance here. Well, another excellent safety. Don't think it's quite a snooker, but it may be enough to force Malta into taking this red on. And what a big shot. Every chance of leaving frame if he misses it, but every chance of winning the frame if he gets it. Well, he won't be too disappointed with that. He has left a red to the middle and to the corner, but they're both difficult. And he'd want to bring that safe red into play, although for a left-hander it's not altogether safe. So another chance here for Alex Borg. Got to make sure of getting that cue ball back towards the balk area though. Doesn't want to leave that red over the middle pocket. Great pot. Could that be the winner? With a good kiss it could.
It has been a close match. I think 5-0 wouldn't really maybe have been the right result. We'll see. He's not got the frame yet. But this red, and its snooker's required, as you see. England's still in a very strong position. They'll have 9 points out of a possible 10 from 2 matches. But it looks like Malta have won a frame, and every credit to Alex Borg here.
Yeah, he knocked in a terrific red, didn't he, to make it a winning shot. Off of a very good safety from Barry Hawkins, you've got to say. Big kick, but black still gone in.
And it could be an important frame for Malta. It's the 4th they've won now in 2 matches. This, I guess, would be their toughest match on paper. They've got a frame out of it.
13.
And they'll be back tomorrow to play Pakistan. England play Iran. Australia play Switzerland. The 3rd of 5 group matches. Top 2, remember, in the 6-team group go into the quarterfinals. So Alex Borg averts the whitewash. The first frame that England have lost in their first 2 matches. He beats Barry Hawkins, and I'm sure will be very satisfied with that, giving Malta a chance in this group. England look like they're going to qualify for sure for the quarter-finals, but there is a battle on for second place, and Malta very much in the shake-up. England win then by 4 frames to 1, but Alex Borg wins the last frame.